makes a good life? A good career doesn't justify having a broken marriage, and financial wealth is only worth half as much when you're sick. To neglect any one area impacts the others negatively. So, how do you divide your life in areas though? Lifebooks, for example, has created 12 areas that sum up most aspects of life. I've not done Lifebook yet, but just looking at the framework has motivated me to master every single area. I believe life is a game, and Lifebook has just showed me the skill trees I can invest in. In this video, I'm giving you an overview of every area in my life and what I'm doing to improve in that area. And in later videos, I will go deeper in every area. As a disclaimer, my intention is not to brag, but to educate and inform. It is my goal to share knowledge I've accumulated so someone else can learn and profit from it. I'm in no way perfect, and I'm aware that I'm still a beginner in the game called life. This is just a way to show how far I've come and how to replicate my limited success and progress. I do not intend to advertise anything, and I'm not getting paid for endorsing quests, programs, or books. I'm in no way connected to any of the products that I'm talking about. This is my first YouTube video, so I appreciate all constructive criticism. To jump in the first area is health, and I've been interested in health ever since, and I started doing bodyweight exercises. Great inspiration was this book. This is German. I assume you have noticed that I'm not from the United States or any English-speaking country. But yeah, this book is perfect to getting started, to get some basic exercises, also some more advanced ones. At the moment I'm doing calisthenics though. Calisthenics is ancient Greek and means beauty, and it's basically exercises that involve the whole body or multiple muscle groups. And examples would be the human flag, handstand push-ups, muscle-ups, such things. And I just think it looks cool, and I train my whole body simultaneously doing that, and I don't have to go to the gym, so I'm just saving a lot of time there. Another great thing for me was yoga, which increases my flexibility, and I just feel so refreshed every time I do it in the morning. And another important thing for health is to get good sleep. This is a great book, Sleep Smarter, from Shawn Stevenson, and it includes a 14-day sleep plan basically, and in general it's just a great start if you want to sleep better or have insomnia. I'm also doing the longevity quest from Mind Valley with Ben Greenfield. It's basically designed to be fit and healthy even in a very old age, and how to increase your years. Basically, that means what longevity means. And in addition to that, I'm starting Viome. That's a company founded by Naveen Jain, who wrote Moonshots. And the company is basically so what they're saying is we try to make illness an option. And what they do is they take a test of your microbiomes in your gut, and then they analyze that and see which foods are complementary to your gut bacteria and which foods you should avoid. So in form of diet, I think this is the best thing I could find. Let's jump to the second area, which is intelligence, and here comes the book up again, Moonshots. This is a great book to just read about the future or how the future might look like. Also a very entrepreneurial book. In future I've read a bunch of things about artificial intelligence, virtual reality, brain-machine interface, mostly on the blog Wait But Why. It's a great resource, it's very well structured. And another thing I'm very interested in is space travel, because I feel like this will be the next step for humanity. And so I'm following Elon Musk and SpaceX on that, and also Moonshots. Naveen Jain is the one who wants to be the first private company on the moon. So this basically all just fits together very well. In other aspects of my intelligence, I have completed the Super Brain Quest, also from Mind Valley, helped by Jim Quick, who is, I'd say he's a memory expert, and he basically teaches you how to learn, and how to remember lists and all sort of things that you probably want to remember. The third area is emotional, and here I feel like it's very hard to define, because like obviously you can try to master your emotions, but first you need to understand the emotions, and for that I've read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He is a surviving death camp in the from Nazi Germany, and he's survived one of the multiple death camps actually, and it's all about meaning, obviously, and just a great way to understand people and what motivates them in a way. Another thing is Crimes and Punishment by Dostoevsky. It's also great literature, and to see I have this as an audiobook, so I cannot show it, but it's about the main character is the nihilistic, and he is basically saying, hey, when everything is meaningless, murder would be justifiable. And this is all I want to say at the moment, but I will go in depth on that later. Also, I feel biographies are a great way to understand people and to understand emotions. The biographies I've read are from Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and I'm currently reading or listening to Albert Einstein. I feel like biographies are perfect for audiobooks, and I just try to master my emotions by acknowledging them and then letting them go. Also, another great way to just control your emotions is music. I have specific playlists for different kind of emotional mindsets that I'm having, so I thought that was a great way to kind of handle that. The next area is about my character, or in general character. A great way for that is 7 Habits for Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. He's great to just build your own character, to see what interests you, and it's also more in depth on like more social interactions in later chapters. I also did my hierarchy of values and rules. That is, the idea comes from Awaken the Jain from Tony Robbins. I do not have that right here because I lent it to my girlfriend, but this is basically what I've come up with. Those are my values and rules, how to basically feel that. I'm just gonna read my top 5. So that would be love and meaning, longevity, growth, happiness, and integrity and honesty. And I just feel like this helps so much when you have your values sorted out, and that just makes every decision so easy, because you can just look, hey, what's my priority value and how do they connect? Another great way to explore your own character was, at least for me, was journaling. I've been writing down what I'm doing every day since 4 years now, and I recently started like a leather journal where I just write thoughts down, but I wanted to make it more habitual, like a daily habit, and that's why I purchased from the Best Self a journal, which is a lot more structured in a way, but gives you still the freedom to do whatever you want with it. So the next topic would be spirituality, which I haven't put a lot of thoughts in until like 1 or 2 years ago. What I started with was Mindfulness for Beginners from John Kabat-Zinn. It was a great start to just see what mindfulness is all about, and just to kind of get started in meditation. And also The meditations that I've been doing mostly was the 6-phase meditation, which is freely available on the internet if you just Google 6-phase meditation mind belly. And I'm also doing the quest, the M word, with Emily, and that's all about meditation. The M word is meditation. And I'm doing a quest about chakra healing, which I just thought interesting and I wanted to give it a try. I haven't progressed far into this, so I'm still figuring that out. Another great book I would recommend on spirituality is Conversations with God by Neale Walsch. He is basically, so I don't want to go too in depth on that, but he basically says God is like having, well, what did it say? Conversations with God. So he's having a conversation with God and wrote it all down. Again, I will go in more depth on this topic in a later video. On the love relationship, I've mostly, so I have a girlfriend. We are together since 3 years now almost. And what has helped us most was just to communicate openly. And we kind of established a relationship guide, more or less. And other resources would be The Way of the Superior Man by Deida, also an audiobook of mine, and just exploring Tantra in general. I'm not sure how the YouTube guidelines are yet, so I will not go in depth on that, but it comes from Hinduism and Buddhism. The next topic, or the next area, is parenting. I am not a parent yet, but I do intend to have children. And I feel like in the best way, children are a better version of you, evolution-wise. And I'm very interested in like how to raise children, in education, and just the psychology. And also I've kind of collected some lessons from fiction, because there's so much you can learn about that, which is more easily brought to children when you connect it to fiction, and probably everyone else as well. The next area is my social life, basically. About the parenting. This is a great book. The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem from Nathaniel Branden. I haven't read, like, it's been a long time since I read that, but in general it just helps with what to take care when raising children. So that was very interesting, very psychological as well. So the next, going back to social, the book I would recommend for this is How to Win Friends and Influence People from Dale Carnegie. It's been recommended to me like so often, and it's actually one of the first books I've read on the self-improvement path that I'm in the moment. It just gives you such a great in-depth, and it's written perfectly with a bunch of stories and explanations. And I've actually taken the time to remember all principles, like there are 30 in this book. So how to remember that was taught to me by the Brain Quest from Jim Quick. So it kind of connects all into each other. So that's nice and fun. I'm also doing the Speak and Inspire quest with Lisa Nichols, also a Mind Valley quest, which is for public speaking, for things like this, the video. I'm probably not applying as many techniques as I've tried to, but this is a learning experience for me as well. So I just try to progressively improve. And in general, for socially, I just try to spend time with my family and friends on a regular basis, and just play games, share what's going on in our lives, and just build strong relationships. So now we come to the last 4. The career is the next area. For resources, I would recommend Principles by Ray Dalio. There are also life principles in this, but mostly work principles, as you can see here. I'm not sure if that's readable, but it's basically like what it is, its principles, how to work most effectively, and what kind of systems to use, and it's just for the career life very, very helpful. For entrepreneurship, I would recommend the 4-Hour Work Week. Also great book if you just want to become independent and be your own boss basically, or just work 4 hours a week. At the moment, I'm in a dual curriculum or dual studies, however you say that in your country. What it is, it's so I study business information systems and work at the same time for the telecom. So at the end, after 3 years, I will be having a degree, but also 3 years of work experience, and I'm getting paid salary. The drawback on that is less free time. But I feel like this is the best option for me, and I'm very happy with that. But I will start in October, so I cannot say as much about it for now, at least. On the financial aspect, is I have a great app for that. It's called Budget Book, and what it does is like literally a budget book. You wait, I can show it here more in the camera. That's how it looks like roughly, and you basically write down what you pay for like your general account, your savings, your PayPal, your cash, and you can budget on top of that. So I know what I have spent my money on, like looking years back, and I can also plan ahead what I want to buy. And also great advice from another book, Rich Dad and Poor Dad, is to let money work for you. And but that's not what I wanted to say. Yeah, to basically know what you're doing with the money and don't just spend it unconsciously. Regarding stocks, the way I see stocks is I vote with my money for the future that I desire. So if I desire a future where just environmental friendly and we all just are able to enjoy nature, I wouldn't buy any oil companies, for example, because they have a negative impact on the world and our nature. So if I were to invest stocks or like money into them, I feel like I'd be promoting that. And this is kind of my philosophy on buying stocks. The last two, the quality of life is the 11th area. And a great book for that was 12 Rules for Life from Jordan Peterson. I'm actually rereading that now. As you can see, I have my bookmark in there. Just great book, gives you so many insights. Many of the books are also applicable to many areas. They're just not just fit for one, but they are cross area wise. And especially on this, it has like 12 rules, and the 6th rule says set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. So that's basically what I'm trying to do, or not only me, but my family as well. So we live in an old farm, or I live in an old farm with my parents, my sister, and my grandmother, and we try to use the space as best as we can and make it more appealing every year. So they are like little renovations and stuff like that, and my dad has really a hand for that, so he does most of the work, but we all do our share. And specifically what I can control most is my own environment, my room, this area here. So I recently installed the shelves basically, and the world map, which I thought was really cool. So you mark out the places you've visited already. So it just makes it feel more home for me when I personalize it. Also clean my room and just keep it tidy, so I feel like it's a nice environment. And another quality of life thing is like traveling. So I feel like traveling is really expanding your horizon, and you just learn different cultures, and obviously you will pick things up that, for example, this country does better than your own country. And so the biggest differences I've noticed were between America, Australia, China, and obviously my home country. So I'd like to expand on that a little in the future. The last area is life vision. That means what are you gonna do with your life? What are your plans? So I feel like scheduling is very important. I schedule in my journal, and I have also a weekly schedule on my laptop where I can kind of move things around more freely. And then I have my goals, which is blueprint for the soul, what it's called. I think Mind Valley coined that term, and it's when you read the Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani, who founded Mind Valley, and he kind of talks about the blueprint of the soul, and it's basically this. This is more advanced version of it. When you also do the Extraordinary by Design, that's a free class on Mind Valley, so you can just do that freely. It's great help. But if you want to go in even more depth, you would be doing the Becoming Limitless, which is a premium class from Mind Valley. And that's like not all Mind Valley things. I've also adapted some goals from other books and just in general what my interests are. So also Moonshots. I have Moonshots in here. That's from the book from Naveen. So this is kind of all putting it together, what I'm going to do. And in general, I just aim at the highest good and tool myself into something that I can attain it and go out there and manifest it in the world. It's a quote from Jordan Peterson. Kind of connect everything here now, going full circle. I hope you enjoyed the video, got some insight. Maybe I got you to try a few things out that I'm doing, and I hope you stick around and see what else I've planned and prepared.